Okay, so looking at, let's just kind of remind ourselves of some common valid arguments, equivalencies. So P then Q in general is equivalent to not Q then not P. That is the contrapositive. That is if you were to change the order and also negate both pieces. If you were to do truth table for this and this, it produces the same truth value at each row, same order, same everything. The other one is P then Q is equivalent to not P or Q. This is the disjunctive. All right, so now let's look at the different pieces that you have. So the one is not A, then B, and not B, therefore A. So if you look at these two pieces here, keep in mind therefore it can be substituted with an arrow, and in fact if you did a truth table for those, that's how it's substituted. If you put those two together, you get not B then A. So what is the relationship between not A then B and not B then A? Well, the order's switched and they're negated. This is an example or an application of the contrapositive. Okay, and therefore that is valid. Keep in mind, you could do a truth table for this. If you didn't want to just kind of analyze it summary-wise, you could do a truth table and see that if you were to do the first proposition and the second proposition, and then parentheses around all of that with an arrow to the A, that you would get a tautology, all truths as a final answer. So that was A of the one you asked me about. And then B, this is not B or not A. Excuse me, A. Therefore, not B. So again, this right here is A, arrow, not B. Again, that therefore translates to an arrow. So this looks like some version of the disjunctive. So let's just kind of ignore this guy for a second and see what this would be. So if you look at the disjunctive, the first piece, the antecedent, is negated. So if my antecedent of A was negated, I'd get A. The arrow goes to an or. And then the last piece, the consequent, the Q, well, the consequent, antecedent and consequent, sorry, this is, there we go. The antecedent and consequent is based on this conditional statement, but this piece right here is just a photocopy. So then in our case, the photocopy would just be the not B. Okay, so looking back, we have this and they have that, and you're like, well, those aren't the same. Well, they are if you consider that the disjunctive and the conjunctive are not associative, commutative.